Hello and welcome to Channels Book Club. My name is Olakunle Kasumo, and it's great to be on this show. What a year it has been, and we are speeding to the very end of the year. It's a privilege to be alive, to be well, to be able to do this. So many people started the year, but where are they? Sadly, that's the way life is. So when you're alive, be grateful, be happy, try and do your best, and try and be the best that you can be while we have time here. So it's been great. Thank you for always watching Channels Book Club, all of you who send us messages via our social media platforms that are displayed on your screen. We love to hear from you. We love your feedback, your criticisms, your commendations, your encouragements, your inquiries, and everything. We just love to hear from you. Well, as we go into the end of the year, our guest for today is one that I'm pretty sure you enjoy listening to. She has so much passion and energy and creativity, and she's written a book that both the title and the cover will just get you curious, and you want to listen to her, and she is worth listening to. Well, let's get to meet with her, our special guests for today, and then enjoy the conversation.
Colette Chibundomba-Malu, with the pen name Colette Davidson, is a social policy expert, certified educator, counselor, and author. Colette is an alumni of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology and the University of Nigeria, among others. She is a member of the Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists in Nigeria, the Institute of Social Workers in Nigeria, and the National Association of Social Workers, among others. Colette has authored several books, including Nature and I, We Move, and My Father's Sperm. She joins Channels Book Club as our author of the week.
It's nice to have you on Channels Book Club.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you, Kunle. I'm glad to be here too.
You look great. I like this, your combo. Huh? Well,
Thank you.
My Father's Sperm. That's the one you need to first of all explain to me, the title. Although you explain it inside the book, but you are going to explain it to me properly and to our viewers what inspired the title and what inspired the book. We're coming back here, but let's speak generally. This is your third book, am I correct? Is it your third?
It's my fourth.
About your fourth book?
Yes.
So, I mean, for somebody with a background in science, multiple degrees, you dabble into a whole lot of things. Where did the interest in writing, what's your story? What's your story when it comes to writing?
Well, I think you captured it so well. Someone with all that background and settling for writing, my passion towards writing came from my yearn to be heard, but to be heard from a perspective where I'm still free as a person, and I found out that I can put down my thoughts without being watched, without being interrupted. So I chose the recluse position that has the least of resistances or, attacks. So when I'm done writing, I get out there. You can be talking anything you want to talk. I'm done.
You're not there.
Yeah, I'm not there. And then, of course, when I'm in the depths of me and I'm fetching from my deep and I'm doing my research, you're not stopping me. No one is there to interrupt me. So it's like a closet effect. So, and I deal with a whole lot of things piece by piece. There's time, there's space. I just needed space, and that's why I chose writing. So I have a well of thoughts. So
obviously from this. Okay, I would like you to introduce to us your previous books.
Okay.
What are they about, and why did you write them?
My first book is Nature and I. I'm a nature advocate. I found out that nothing thrives outside their natural position. When people are struggling or an animal is struggling, it's because you remove the fish out of the water. and then you put it in somewhere else, so it starts struggling. So Nature and I is saying that I am nature. And it's actually a book I used to define or describe the civic life, civic education for younger persons, primary, secondary schools. That's why it's endorsed. It's been reviewed by NERD.
It's basically about the environment.
Exactly, but they captured it under civic education. So how you live with yourself and your environment. And then my second book says We Move. We Move is something that came on having understood our younger persons, how they, relinquish leadership, governance, peace to the external, and they wait for the government to give them all that, like spoon feed them. And I found out that if we keep waiting for those who are positional in authority, then that makes us pawns in a game. And so the front of the book even shows that, and yes, in a chess.
I don't know if you play chess, but that's the pawn.
Yes.
Knocking off the king. That's the weakest piece on the board. Knocking off the most important piece on the board. Was that deliberate?
Yes, very deliberate. And of course, it's also saying that if you don't take action, no one's going to take that action for you. So because freedom is not given, you take it. That's why it's a knockoff, kind of. And We Move is moving. From it, part of it is where they got the saying, that's acronym, the chant, We Move. So it was used, I actually have a song to it. It was used in the 2020 NSARS, and it made a whole lot of influence for our young person, the youth especially. Then
you wrote the song?
Yes, I'm a songwriter.
Yeah?
I've actually sang some for Nigerian independence.
Maybe you should sing that for us. Okay.
The spirit of Niger, I am the spirit of Niger. Ajaye, we move. Ajaye, we win. Ajaye, Ajaye. Ajar, just keep open, open
ajar,
up.
Open.
Yes, that's it. So ajar, we move. But if you shut your mouth, you probably will not.
The multi-talented Collins.
I'm just here to give life to thoughts.
That's your purpose, right?
Yes, give action to thoughts.
Interesting. Nice song.
Thank you.
Song. Okay, so those are your previous books, right?
Yes.
And then
I have the School's Dad and the Street's Dad. That's another book.
The School's Dad and the Street's Dad.
Yes.
So that's how many now?
That's the fourth one, and this is the fifth one.
So this is the fifth one.
Yeah.
Fantastic. My Father's Sperm. What's this about?
Wow.
A coat of many colors. So you've got us already. You've got our attention fully with your title, and then your cover. I mean, you see this, you read this, and you see the cover, and you are really curious. What is in this book? What's it about? Yeah. So, what's My Father's Sperm about? Why this title?
I wonder what it could have been. My mother's sperm. Of course, sperm is only found in men. My interest in men is what drives that. And it comes from being a social worker, where you understand stereotypes, social diversities, where you understand biases that can influence how people live, results to chaos, conflicts, outcomes and all that. And when you don't look at it from that perspective, you just see a man and say, oh, that's a man, just gender. No, but there are peculiarities to each gender. And in Nigeria, we know we're in a patriarchal society, but then that's one end. What about the other ends that also empower that? And the loop sides to gender. As a gender advocate, I chose men at the long run.
You are a gender advocate.
Yes, a trained.
But you're advocating for men.
Yes, I used to advocate for women.
Most strange, considering.
No. I used to advocate for women, but at the same time, I found out that the DVs, domestic violence we talk about, doesn't just happen. I always give this simple illustration. When you're boiling water in a kettle, what happens? You close the top, but you give it an exit where the fumes go off. For men in Nigeria, I don't want to say Africa yet, for Nigerian men, we shut off the top and then we shut off the exits. So when the water is boiling with all that he's going through, the pressure, the attacks and all that, he hustles in the whole day, and then there's no way to release his heat.
So and it just blows up.
It blows up. And who is it going to blow up on? The weakest vessels. And then we call that DV. DV doesn't just happen. It started from the boyhood, where the boy is expected.
Are you arguing that men should not be blamed for DVs?
No, I'm not saying blame. We're looking for solution. If you're going to solution, you don't just start from the end. You start from the core.
Because some feminists are very angry about that, your thought pattern.
I don't care. They can be angry. They have the right to be. But if you want to be solution-driven, right, it's not grammar. You go from psych. What's the psychology of a boy? What's the mental expression of a boy? Have they analyzed that? It's the boys that became men. They didn't just drop, So if you understand the seed principle, it boils down to nature again. The seed became the trees. But now you come, and because a man, you are seeing a man, you didn't see him when he was a boy. He has released some heat on a woman, and then you come attacking the man. No, you go back to the core. We understand that in computer. You go back to the what? The software, the encryption. Then after that, you look on the screen, you see something different. That's what my father's sperm is saying. Handle all the stereotypes from boyhood, and then the ones in the men will also come clearer, that when a man is boiling, he now knows he has other exits.
I know you're very strong on stereotypes of men in this book.
Exactly.
From what you're saying now. Can you share two of them that you shared in this book? Two typical stereotypes that you shared in this book.
Something as simple as men don't cry. If you cry, you're what? A weak man. As horrible as funeral is, you don't expect a man to cry. You know what cry is? Tears. Tears are expression for healing, But if we have not understood that, we attack it, and then we attach a negative stereotype to it and call it weakness. So for men, if he cries, he's weak. But for a woman, if she cries, is what?
She's expressing herself.
So the man shouldn't express himself. Research shows that unexpressed emotions, suppressed emotion in the males results to high mortality rates. Our men die often because unexpressed emotions, unexpressed concerns, right? As little as tears. If I tell you scientifically what's in tears, it's salt. Salt is for healing, yeah. And as little as that is, that he couldn't even say, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm weak. He doesn't have exits where you release heat, right? Just that can cripple his liver over time because it gets accumulated. For every energy, in energy therapy, I'm also a consultant on that. For every energy unexpressed, right, it goes down to transit and transmute into illnesses. Whether it attaches to your liver is a whole ballgame, to your kidney, even prostrate,
interesting,
all that.
So what's the second stereotype that you want to share with us here?
When we say a man,
I know you want them to go and buy this, so this is spoiler alert. What's the second stereotype?
When we say that the major need of a man is sex, we have removed him from emotional expressions.
When we say, so is that a common stereotype?
Yes, the major
need of men is sex.
They say it this way: get his stomach filled and get his tanks empty.
I hear that.
Yeah. So I mean, interacted with community people.
Yeah, that's true.
As wonderfully crafted as that is, it's actually a stereotype. It has the downsides. But people just looking at, oh, the good one, feed his stomach, get it always filled, and get the other ones empty. What have you made him? You've turned him into what? Garbage in, garbage out. A man is emotions too. Those unexpressed emotions, which we have tagged them and tagged herohood to the emotion. Why are we this wicked? It's actually robotic, because you expect him that he shouldn't dare say, I'm weak. But he should always say, I'm strong. So the opposite of strong when it's a man is stronger. But for a woman, the opposite of strong is weak, and it's okay. But the opposite of strong for a man is stronger. Who are you dealing with? A robot?
so much to talk about. What else are you doing? Writing, singing, advocating, 5 books in the bag now. What's next? Is there another book? Is there another project?
Yes, I have 4 books I'm writing at the moment. By 2027, they should all be out. But then I have a project concerning my father's sperm. It's quite huge. It's bigger than big, you know. It's called the 60s Men.
The 60s Men?
Yes.
What's that?
Men in their 60s. We found out that a whole lot has gone under the bridge. For men in that age, it's like the second elimination by the society.
Second elimination.
Yes. The first elimination is when you're 40s and then your 50s. 60s is the second, and then 70s, 75.
What do you mean by elimination?
You know, dissociation. You become on your own. You start being on your own as a man. Yeah, it's proven. It's research. And then 80 is like the last elimination.
What do you mean by start being on your own? I don't understand.
I mean, you're no longer the word inclusion. You're not included in the national cake, in the national perspectives, your expectations, all that you've done, like, we've sucked you dry. Sorry for using that.
So basically...
Oh, we don't need you again.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, okay, I think I get it. You're looking at job vacancies, and they say 35 and below. You're not in the record.
That's the first elimination stage.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get the elimination.
Indeed.
So for men, that elimination is crazy. That even as at 75, even your family start eliminating you. They don't even remember you're there. Because why? You don't blame them too. It's just socialization systems. Where you now have your children's children, they have their own responsibilities, so they just don't remember you. You know, so that 80 years old, if your family still remembers you, you must have had so much impact in the reorientation you give to your family. So looking at that view or age bracket, it's why we said the 60s Men have to come on the show. It's a big show, and we encourage a whole lot of young persons to get involved, because you, the younger person, will now have to decide which older person is good enough for you people to stay on the stage.
Okay, so it's for people in their 60s, the usual elimination thing, etc., etc., etc.
Who shouldn't we eliminate?
A TV show, right?
Yes, the TV show.
Well. I wish you all the best with that, Colette. Sounds very intriguing. Thank you for joining us on Channels Book Club and sharing your book, My Father's Sperm. And not just your book, you've shared a lot about yourself and the work you're doing. It's been great to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Colette has so much packed in there, Well, hope to have her on the show again sometime. But this is where we have to end the show. But before we end the show, how about a reading for you to enjoy as we go into December? December is an exciting month. So many literary events here and there, book launches and book readings here and there. So, well, what a way to end it. Enjoy this.
Hello viewers, my name is Kufre Ntuk Esquire. I'm a lawyer, a poet, writer, and an author. By the special grace of God, I have authored these 2 books so far. One is entitled Taurus of Verses, Anthology of Poems and Poetic Eulogies. This is on poetry, while this is entitled Tribe of the Wet Sun. Particularly today, I'll be talking a little and reading a page from Tribe of the Wet Sun. Now, one would wonder, why Tribe of the Wet Sun as a title? The book generally, the setting is Ibibio land, is on Ibibio, my tribe. So there are many versions of the origin, migration, dispersal, and settlement of Ibibio people. Yes, many versions, as many as authors. But I have chosen to believe one particular version which appeals most to me and my conscience, and that is the version I have adopted to write this book. It has different chapters. Now, you have chapters on slavery, you have chapters on some other Ibibio practices, like the fattening of young maidens, like something we call, that used to happen, not, of course, that one is not peculiar to Ibibio alone. There's a story of people, what we call Adelphic polyandry marriage, where brothers, polyandry has to do with brothers. Adelphic has to deal with brothers. So one man marrying a wife, bringing to the house because she's beautiful. You see, the elder brother wants that wife, even if he was married. And they will do everything possible to kill this brother and take over the wife. The next brother will do the same thing. And at the end of the day, about 4 men end up marrying one woman just because she was beautiful. That one actually happened, I think it happens, is a general thing. So the coming of the missionaries first, Mary Slessor, the killing of the stoppage of killing of twins and all of that. So we have all of that in this book. So let me not waste your time. Let me whet your appetite a bit. Let's go to when the slaves, the Europeans came and started the transatlantic slave trade. You see how our people were dehumanized in this short passage I want to read. This is on page 104 of the book. The title here is Blood in Wine Glasses. My name is Captain Brunswick Crompton, alias Octavia, half British, half Portuguese. In the line of duty here, I go by the name Captain Burns. You must have heard a lot about me. If you haven't, well, I'm sorry. You'll have to deal with me the way you see me. From this moment on, I'm your master. He thundered in a somewhat babyish voice, holding a long reed whip in his right palm, with his pistol tucked in his belt on the right side of his waist, while a dagger was stuck on the left side. The inundated and hungered hundreds of slaves, except a handful like Udom Patat, Udokang, and Anye Kebu, who still exhibited a bit of manliness, were already writhing in pains and crying for help, even when it was apparent that help at this point could only be an act of God. If ever it came, it would be for just one or two men. All of them were praying to the ancestors or gods for that unlikely magic moment of one or two being released, not to go back home, as there was no home again for them, but to be conscripted into the slave yard service. They were held together by customized long sticks or iron placed on their necks and tied neck to neck with strong ropes, in addition to handcuffs or leg chains used on the strong ones among them. Slavery was humiliating and dehumanizing. They looked at their peacock master aghast and agape, as they did not understand the white man's language. Just then, an epic interpreter stepped in and started relating what Captain Brunswick was saying to them. When they understood and knew what lay ahead of them, their groans and cries became more intense. Nothing in the world could pacify them, absolutely nothing. Burns concluded, and his interpreter did his work. 3 days later, the loud blare of the large cargo ship called the Blind Alley for Slaves Only was heard, and in no time it arrived at the shore. Like helpless or numbed zombies, the slaves were marched into the ship. It was after the first instructions on the ship by Captain Burns on what is expected of them abroad and how they were to conduct themselves in humility and strict obedience to their purchasers over there, that it further dawned on Udom Patat, Udokang, and Anyekebu, and any other stubborn slave, that they were about to walk through the valley of the shadow of death and had not to fear evil, because fearing it wasn't an option anymore. They caused enough uproar and got beaten and wounded. Midway into the journey, and with the help of other slaves, they broke loose and attacked the white men. In the frenzy of pandemonium that ensued, the trio took down 2 white men, which got the dander of Captain Burns and other white men up. Captain Burns shot Udokang in the head, and he died instantly. He ordered one of his men to shoot Udom Patat in the stomach, which he did, and blood oozed profusely. He cried out in a Bibio language, Mbok iya udo ya onyong. Ini ese mi idwe mbufu. Isese bong sese annamien mio. Ayadio no fien ye fadi ufong fu kensinsi. Iyi mi adi doro mbufu ki wood. Interpreted to mean, please let me go. I have not offended you. Look at what Obongsese has done to me. Oh, it shall never be well with you and your family forever. My blood will be upon your heads. He cried and laid deadly curses on Obongsese and Captain Burns with his crew.
I hope you had a good time listening to that. This is where we have to end the show. Time is never our friend. As always, we'll be very delighted to get your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. My name is Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.